From the moment my heart first knew yours, the world I lived in no longer felt like mine. I had been raised to believe that my life belonged to duty, to crowns, to endless expectations, but none of it mattered the day you became the center of my existence. Why, baby, I decided it for you, because I realized that even if I held the whole world in my hands, it would still feel empty without you in it. I have walked through nights where silence was heavier than steel, where loneliness pressed on me like an invisible chain. In those moments, it was not the thought of armies or kingdoms that gave me strength, it was you. The idea of your smile, the sound of your voice echoing in the depths of my memory, the way your presence lingers in every corner of my soul. Why, baby, I decided it for you, because you are the only light that keeps me from being lost. It will say I am reckless. It will say I chose wrong. It will say a prince cannot bend his fate for love. But what do they know of love? What do they know of the way my heart beats faster at the thought of you, or how my soul feels at peace only when I imagine you near? They live for crowns, I live for you. They chase power, I chase the warmth of your hand. Why, baby, I decided it for you, because nothing they can offer will ever weigh more than the promise of your love. And even if the road ahead is filled with storms, even if it demands every piece of me, I will not falter. Let them take kingdoms from me, let them strip me of my name, let them try to bend me under the weight of destiny, it will still stand, because my choice is unshaken. Why, baby, I decided it for you, and in that decision I have found more strength, more meaning, more truth than I ever found in the life I was born into. If tomorrow ends, if my name fades, if my story is told in whispers long after I am gone, let them say this about me, that I was a man who gave everything, not for glory, not for power, but for love. Let them remember me not as a prince, not as a king, but as the man who lived and died choosing you. Why, baby, I decided it for you and I will decide it for you again, in every lifetime the heavens grant me. Why, baby, every time I breathe these words, they echo inside me like the beating of war drums, steady and unrelenting, reminding me of the vow I carved into my soul. I have been raised in a world that demanded sacrifice at every step, a world where my name was written before I could even spell it, where my destiny was decided before I could even dream it. I was never meant to choose. I was never meant to decide. But then you came, and suddenly, choice was no longer a forbidden thing, it became the only thing worth fighting for. Why, baby, I decided it for you, because in a life where everything was forced upon me, you are the one thing I claimed for myself. I have known the weight of crowns, how heavy they sit upon the head that wears them, pressing down until the skull itself feels it might crack. I have seen the faces of men who bow, but never believe, who swear loyalty with their lips, but sharpen betrayal behind their backs. I have walked through feasts where gold overflowed, where music filled the air, where laughter rang hollow, and yet all I felt was emptiness. But one thought of you, memory of your eyes, softening at the sight of me, fills me with a warmth that no palace, no kingdom, no throne has ever given. Why, baby, I decided it for you, because the treasures of the world are dust compared to the treasure of holding your hand in mine. I will not lie to you, this path is not simple. It is carved with fire, lined with thorns, and filled with storms that seek to break me. They whisper in the halls that I am blinded, that I am unfit, that love has weakened me. But they do not understand that it is love that has made me unbreakable. Before you, I was a prince of glass, polished, shining, but fragile. With you, I am a man of fire, burning, enduring, alive. Why, baby, I decided it for you, because nothing in this world has given me strength the way your love has. There are nights when I sit in silence, staring into the dark, and I wonder what would have become of me had I never found you. Perhaps I would have been the prince they wanted, a ruler of duty, a figure of control, a shadow without a soul. Perhaps I would have been remembered for victories and laws, but I would never have been truly alive. You changed that. You gave me a reason to feel, to fight, to live beyond the walls built around me. Why, baby, I decided it for you, because life without you is not life at all, it is survival without meaning. And so I make this vow again, louder, fiercer, unshakable, no matter what storms rise, no matter what kingdoms fall, no matter how the world turns against me, I will not turn from you. Let them strip me of everything, me crown, my name, my bloodline. Let them write me as reckless in their books, let them curse my choices, let them erase my victories. None of it matters. What matters Why, baby, there are no words in any language, no songs ever sung, no stories ever written, that can carry the weight of what I feel for you. Every thought I have, every choice I make, every breath I take bends toward you, as if the universe itself conspires to remind me that nothing matters more than your existence. I have walked through halls lined with gold, and echoes of kings long gone. I have heard the applause of men who believed they understood power. I have held the crown heavy on my head, but nothing, nothing, has ever felt as true as the thought of you. Why, baby, I decided it for you, because to live without you would be to live without air, without fire, without the very essence that makes me who I am. The nights are the hardest. In the darkness, when silence presses against me like a living thing, I feel the weight of every expectation, every rule, every life I was born to uphold. And yet, in the quiet, I also feel you, the memory of your ladder, the warmth of your hand in mine, the soft certainty that you are the only reason my heart continues to fight. Why, baby, I decided it for you, because even in the loneliest moments, even when the world seems cold and cruel, the thought of you turns every shadow into light, every fear into courage, every loss into something worth enduring. Do you know what it is like to live for someone else entirely? To have your every action measured against a love so immense that it becomes your compass, your strength, your reason for being. That is my life now. I do not rise to meet the demands of a kingdom. I do not speak to please the eyes of strangers. I do not fight to be remembered. I fight so that you may never have to fear, so that your life may be filled with safety, and joy and love beyond measure. Why, baby, I decided it for you, because you are not just a part of my world, you are the world itself, and I would lay everything down to ensure it turns safely in your favor. There are days when the weight of this choice presses upon me so heavily, that I wonder if I can endure it. The crown, the armies, the whispers, the enemies, they are all heavy, and yet I bear them gladly because of you. Every sacrifice is lighter when it is for you, every danger smaller when I think of your smile, every sleepless night softened by the memory of your touch. Why, baby, I decided it for you, because no burden can outweigh the joy of holding you close, the triumph of knowing that I have chosen rightly, the certainty that love, in its purest form, is the only thing worth everything. And so I make this vow once more, endlessly, without hesitation or doubt. No storm, no enemy, no force in this world or beyond it, will ever make me turn from you. If history writes me as reckless, let it. If kingdoms fall, let them. If the heavens themselves rise against me, I will still hold this truth, my baby, I decided it for you, and I will continue to decide it for every moment of every day until the stars burn out, and time itself forgets to move. Why, baby, you are my reason, my anchor, my salvation, my eternity. I chose you then, I choose you now, and I will choose you forevermore. Why, baby, every second I spend away from you feels like a lifetime wasted, a throne empty of its meaning, a crown heavy with futility. I have walked through countless days in this palace, surrounded by power and splendor, and yet none of it has ever mattered the way your presence matters. I have listened to advisors, to kings and generals, to men who think they understand the weight of responsibility, and I have smiled politely while my mind always returned to you. Why, baby, I decided it for you, because nothing else could matter when my heart belongs entirely to you. Even the walls of this castle, the marble and gold that were meant to define my life, fade into insignificance when compared to the thought of your hand in mine, your breath near mine, your world intertwined with mine. I have faced nights when fear seemed like a living thing, clawing at my chest, whispering that I was not enough, that love could not survive the coldness of this world. And yet, every time I thought of you, courage surged through me like a river that cannot be stopped. You have become my guiding star, my fire in the darkness, my unwavering truth. Why, baby, I decided it for you, because the world may demand that I be strong, that I be unyielding, but I have found a strength far greater than anything I could have known before, the strength that comes from loving you, protecting you, and knowing that my life is meaningless without you at its center. They tell me that a prince must choose reason over heart, that duty comes before desire, that legacy outweighs love. But what is a legacy that cannot hold you? What is a crown that cannot shelter you? What is a kingdom if I cannot share it with the one I love? I have refused their rules, defied their judgments, and walked past they call reckless, and I do so willingly, because my reason is you. I demand, without fear of what I may lose. Why, baby, I decided it for you, because in giving myself to you, I did not lose anything. I gained everything. I gained a world brighter than any kingdom, a peace deeper than any silence, a purpose truer than any crown. And so, if tomorrow I must stand against the storm, I will. If I must walk into fire, I will. If I must bleed, I will. None of it frightens me, for my choice is already sealed. Why, baby, I decided it for you, and I will decide it again each day, each hour, each breath, until my last. Do you want me to keep going as if this is an endless spout pouring from him like a letter that never ends, or should I turn it into one massive,